Welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Book Digest. In today's episode, we're diving into a powerful and practical summary of Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon. This is a book that totally pulls back the curtain on why some brands become these massive cultural icons, while so many others, well, they just fade away. All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with what the book calls the secret of belonging. Then, we'll unpack the 7 key pieces of what's called the Primal Code. After that, we'll see this code in action with brands you know and love. And finally, we'll talk about why this is all about building something much, much bigger than just a product. So, first up, what on earth could a 3.5 million-year-old skeleton possibly teach us about a company like Apple? Well, the book kicks off with this really cool mystery that perfectly sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so meet Lucy. She's a hominid skeleton, and she is basically a global celebrity. But why? I mean, tons of fossils get dug up all the time. What makes Lucy so special? It's because she has a story. She has a name. We know the story of her discovery. She isn't just a pile of bones in a museum. She's a character in the grand story of human origin. And that's something we can all connect to.
And this right here is the big aha moment of the book. Patrick Hanlon argues that the exact same human impulse that makes us fascinated by Lucy's story is what brands like Apple, Nike, and Starbucks tap into. You see, they're not really selling you coffee or computers. They're inviting you to join a belief system. And that transforms you from just a customer into a believer.
So the big question is, how do they actually do it? Well, this is where we get into the core framework of the book. Hanlon breaks it down into what he calls the Primal Code. It's like the DNA of belief.
So the Primal Code is basically a 7-part recipe. And when all these ingredients come together, they can turn literally any group, a company, a cause, you name it, into this powerful community that people are drawn to. It's the hidden blueprint for building belief.
And here they are, the 7 pieces of the code: the creation story, the creed, icons, rituals, pagans, sacred words, and the leader. Now, this isn't just some random checklist. It's a complete system for creating a community that people feel a deep, primal need to be a part of. So, let's break them down, one by one. All right, now for the fun part. Let's see how this code actually plays out in the real world. We're going to run through some of these pieces with brands you probably interact with every single day, and you'll see this framework is everywhere. First up, we have the creation story. This is all about the origin. It answers those huge questions. Where did this come from? And more importantly, why does it even exist? This story is the bedrock of trust and the first step to creating a sense of belonging.
Just think about Apple's story. It's not just, we made a computer. No, it's this epic tale of 2 guys in a garage, a couple of rebels taking on the big, faceless corporations. That narrative gives them a moral high ground and makes you feel like, by buying their products, you're part of that rebellion too.
Next up is the creed. And look, this is not that boring mission statement plaque you see on a corporate wall. The creed is the beating heart of the brand. It's the core belief, the thing they stand for, that gives everyone a shared sense of identity.
Take Nike. Their creed isn't just do it. That's the slogan. The creed is the belief behind the slogan, this powerful idea that if you have a body, you are an athlete. That's it. And that belief acts as a compass that guides everything they do, from shoe design to their ads. Number 3, we've got icons. Now these are super powerful sensory shortcuts. They can be sights, sounds, even smells that trigger the entire brand story in your mind in an instant. They're like a compressed file for the brand's whole belief system. And you see these everywhere, right? The Nike swoosh, the Starbucks siren. You don't even need to see the word to know what it is. Or think about the unique roar of a Harley-Davidson engine. Or get this, even the specific smell when you unbox a new iPhone. All of those things are icons that instantly connect you to the brand's entire world. Okay, number 4, rituals. These are the repeated, shared behaviors that turn someone from just a passive consumer into an active participant. Rituals are what make you feel like you're really part of the club. Think about it. Ordering a venti anything at Starbucks, lining up for a new iPhone launch, even watching the bartender perform that perfect 2-part Guinness pour. These aren't just transactions. They're shared experiences that create this powerful sense of community and make you feel like, yeah, I belong here.
All right, this next one is a little counterintuitive. It's called pagans. Now, in this context, pagan just means the non-believer, the outsider, the other. You see, a strong community defines itself not just by who's in the group, but just as importantly, by who's out. This contrast actually makes the group's identity even sharper.
And the absolute classic example of this is the old Mac versus PC ad campaign. By clearly defining what they were not, a stuffy, boring corporate PC, Apple made being a Mac user a real statement of identity. It created a powerful us versus them dynamic that made the us feel that much stronger.
Number 6 is sacred words. This is all about the insider lingo, the special vocabulary that only members of the tribe understand. Think about how Starbucks doesn't use small, medium, and large. They have tall, grande, venti. Or how Apple has a genius bar, not a tech support desk. Using these words proves you're in the know. You're part of the tribe.
And finally, number 7, the leader. The leader is the human face of the whole belief system. They're the one who embodies the creed and makes it all feel real and tangible. And there's no better example than Steve Jobs. He was Apple. His passion, his obsession with detail, it made the company's mission feel urgent and vital. He wasn't just the CEO, he was the chief believer.
So we've walked through all 7 pieces of the code. Now let's just zoom out and bring it all together, because the way they work together is what's truly critical here.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway. A brand with a cool logo or a good origin story? Sure, that's interesting. It might get your attention for a little while. But a brand that has thoughtfully built all 7 of these pieces into its DNA, that's what creates real, lasting belonging. It's the difference between a fad and a movement.
And think about this. It's a wild statistic. 9 out of every 10 new products fail. And it's almost never because the product itself is bad. It's because there's no story, no community, no creed, no belief system for people to grab onto. It ends up being just another thing on a very crowded shelf.
And so that leaves us with this one big, final question to think about. As you look at the world around you, the brands you choose, the communities you join, maybe even the things you're building yourself, ask this. Is it just something to buy, or is it something to belong to? Because in the end, that deep human need for community is what it's all about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.